Suneera Madhani. Suneera Madhani.
Without much further ado, I'd like to welcome Suneera.
Hi, I'm Suneera Madhani, a mom of two, daughter of an immigrant, and an unlikely entrepreneur who built a billion-dollar business. Yes, billion. Now I'm doing it again and building my second unicorn, Worth. Shockingly, less than 2% of female founders ever reach 1 million in revenue, and I'm on a mission to change that. At CEO School, we mentor thousands of women to help them level up in business and in life. We believe that you deserve to have it all, because honestly, nothing bad happens when women make more money. Grab a seat because class is officially in session. Welcome to CEO School. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the CEO School podcast. I'm your host, Suneera Madhani, and it is March. Well, almost March. We are actually back in my house. So this is our second set of recording day for the podcast. I sit here and I'm able to batch 4 episodes for you in a single sitting. And it's one of the processes. I know last episode, or if you haven't caught the episode on systems and processes, this is exactly how I'm able to do all the things. It's with the right systems. And one of my systems on getting this podcast done is we sit and we record 4 at a time. And that's honestly, I've tried everything over the last 5 years of running the show. I've done weekly, I've done 2 times per week, or bi-monthly. I've done where I have gone to conferences and done interviews at conferences. I've literally tried every kind of batch method. And for February's episodes, I had decided that I'm actually quitting the studio. I love my studio, and a huge shout out to Hi Hello Labs and Carlos and Carlina, who have been my podcast managers and producers for so long. But one of the personal decisions I made to just relax a bit with this show. It's been 5 years of running the CEO School podcast, and I felt like there's just so much perfectionism that we all have, comparison that we all kind of face through. And there's so much happening in the podcasting world. Since I started the podcast in 2020, I mean, we've been just always ranking on top charts, and I'm so grateful. Then this is all organic. Like, we don't pump any ads into it. We just show up. I show up. My team shows up. And our only channel of actually reaching all of you is through the podcast network, which you guys are tuning in from, and then on social. But one of the things that I felt over the last 2 years which has been so great, is production value really increased. So many cameras, so many lights. We had our own studio. I felt like I had 4 different outfit changes for every episode. You never knew that I was actually batch recording a podcast. I had hair and makeup done fully, like I always had, hair and makeup, all the stuff. And it started to feel for me internally, it just didn't feel like the authentic me. I didn't feel like I felt like I was showing up for a stage, versus my favorite part about running the show and why I'm able to do this for so long, literally every week, is because it's just having a conversation with a friend. It's having a conversation. I feel like I know exactly who you are. I know our audience. I know her. Because I've been you. I am you. And for me, I was almost playing into what, again, I'm not trying to be hard on myself. This is like what we all do, but I want to be honest and open here. I was playing into what I should be doing. And I fall into this cycle all the time, by the way. So I've learned this lesson the hard way many times, where I'm like, oh, okay, we're starting to see success in something, and then I'm trying to get consultants in, I'm trying to scale it, I want to grow it. And this is the overachiever in me. Like, I want to, everything I put my name on, I want it to be done with excellence. I want it to be done with the utmost quality. I want it to be the best. I want to rank. I want to be the best in what I do. So if I'm putting my time and energy into something, I really do want it to scale, and I understand scale. And so with the podcast, I feel like over the last 2 years, especially after post-Stacks exit, I was like, oh, I'm going all in, and I'm going to up-level this and up-level that, which we did. And there was so much benefit that came from it, right? We started posting the show on YouTube and other channels, and it's been so great for the growth. But I did feel that I was losing that connection. I did feel like I was actually trying to show up for the number than I was actually just showing up for what I love to do, which is speak authentically to this audience, to speak authentically to you, to her, to me, because I've been there in actually talking about business, real shit, life, scale, all the things that like I'm dying to, share with you. And so I made the decision of moving the podcast to the house, removing all of the production lights. There's no, makeup artists. Like this is exactly how I'd be showing up to work today, and authentically me. And so I sit here and I wrote out my episode outline. So there's no scripts, there's no anything. It's just back to us. And so welcome back to my home. And we are deep diving into March and all of the most amazing things that are happening. It is end of Q1. Like I cannot believe that 2025 is already flying by. And it has been a really already crazy start to 2025. There's been a lot happening just from a political standpoint, just tragedies. And it's been a lot worldly. And I know that's almost how 2024 felt. Like I was ready to release that energy going into 2025, but it feels like we still have some of that. And so I am so ready for all of it to be into good momentum. And I really do feel that way about 2025. I really do feel that this is a promising year, and I feel so excited about all the growth that's happening, not just for myself and for all of you. And my biggest, one of the things that I shared in my newsletter, which if you aren't subscribing to, please do subscribe, Big Business Energy. It drops every single Wednesday in your inbox at noon. And I write that weekly. Every single week, my team is like hounding me sometimes like a Tuesday night. And it's like, where's the newsletter? And I'm like, I'm still working on it. But one of the things that I wrote was my word of the year, which is arrived. And I'm not chasing anything. I'm not trying to go anywhere. I'm not, we're all on this like journey all the time. But what if we just stood still? And like, what if we just appreciated exactly where we are today? And I want to remind you that you too have arrived. You don't need to chase. And yes, we can have our goals and we can be super ambitious. And I never want to take that away. You can't take that away. That's how I'm built. That's how you're built. We can still be super ambitious, but we can also stand still for a moment and just be, and just enjoy where life is today, where your business is today. Because the girl 10 years ago that you were would really want you to appreciate where you are today. And that's something that I've never had a chance to just pause and sit still. And so that is my word of the year. And I do feel that I have arrived and I am here, and I don't want to be on a train to a destination. I want to enjoy, and I want to enjoy what's around me. And of course it's going to grow and be better, but I want to invite you into that stillness and into that arrival point as well. And so growth, today's episode is all going to be about growth, right? So we can grow and still be in that place of comfort. And something that I was thinking about as we're going into this end of Q1, I want to really think about, for me, still the first quarter of the year is still all about that setting of what the year is going to look like. That I'm still in that mindset. I'm still implementing my health habits. I'm still implementing all of these things that I'm adding for growth, right? On the flight back from Park City, I actually was listening to a masterclass from James Clear, who is a phenomenal author. If you have not read his book, Atomic Habits, I highly, highly recommend it. I give a copy away to everyone I know. I'm obsessed. And he had a masterclass. So I watched his masterclass on a flight, and all these concepts of habit stacking and how to create really strong habits and consistency. I'm a huge proponent of that. My entire life is a series of micro habits that then compound into the life that I live. And that's why I'm successful, is because I've been able to integrate these habits, and it's just part of my lifestyle, whether it's for work, whether it's for working out, whether it's with my family, mindset, routines, super important. But it was all about habit stacking and growth. Something that I did feel that we just don't talk enough about is what we have to let go of, what we have to actually quit. So we're constantly adding and adding and adding, which we do want to replace out bad habits. We do want to add in the right habits. But in order for us to even make room for new habits, we have to let go of things. We have to let go of old ones. We have to create space. And so I was sitting down writing today's episode outline, and I know I've done a series of like things to quit, but I had to revisit it because I really want to share the things that you need to actually let go of in order to make room for growth. So we can call it quitting, we can call it letting go, we can call it making space, but I wanted to call out a few things that took me a really long time, not only as a founder and CEO, but just I wish I had done this so much earlier in my 20s or as a young woman, that I'm now finally being like, okay, this makes sense. And so 6 things that I want to share that I let go of. I'm still working on, but I really, really, really try to quit these things. And I want to invite you to clear it with me so that we can together make space for the growth that's happening. So are you ready? Okay, I'm super excited. Number 1, which of course it has to be on here, it's super plain, so simple, is quit saying yes to everything. I am so proud of myself for the work that I've done here and getting comfortable with the word, no, I can't right now. No, I can't. Now is not a good time, right? And there's so many kind ways to say no, and it doesn't have to be a full-on no. It just could mean right now might not be the time. And getting comfortable with also being okay that it is a no. I think that that's the biggest thing that I've had to work on is I got comfortable with saying no. Okay, I'm not going to be here. I'm invited to speak at this event, or here's this thing that's happening. I could say no. I got better about saying no. But deep down inside, I still had this crazy amount of FOMO. Deep down inside, what I was like still looking up, like, oh man, who else is going to the conference? Who else is speaking at the conference? Who's going to be on that stage with me? Who am I going to miss out on? And this level of FOMO will never leave because social media, right? Because we have access to it all the time. Like life would be so much simpler without it. It really would. Life would be so much simpler without it. But we have this constant viewpoint of everything that's happening at all times. And so, of course, we have this self-talk and this dialogue. So it's not my fault. It's not your fault that we do get FOMO. FOMO's real. FOMO's hard. I have FOMO all the time. The way that I've overcome this is not just to say no, but it's truly to enjoy. I'm saying no so then I get to say yes to this thing. And so even if it's Sarah Blakely that I am the pre-keynote for on that stage, and I have been, by the way, and it was incredible. But even if it's the person that I'm dying to be in front of, I'm saying no to this opportunity because the thing that I'm saying yes to is actually more meaningful to me. And when I'm aligned with why I'm saying what I'm saying yes to, not just what I'm saying no to, it makes that FOMO so much easier because I'm saying no because I want to have a quiet weekend with my kids. And there are many times where I'm like, oh, I say yes because the calendar might even be open. But I've learned those moments that I have with my kids on the weekend, the ages that they're in right now, like this is my moment to do that. This is my moment to be here. And I don't want to trade that at all for whatever, like that shiny object that I have, that I think in my head that I'm like afraid to say no to. And so I've just gotten comfortable in my yes so that I can be even more comfortable to say no. Because there's a process, right? And it's true. There is a process. It's hard, but you have to really get comfortable in that yes. And that goes back to that defining of like, what are those buckets? We've talked about this for so many episodes. I think we should revisit the bucket principle back again here shortly. But it's like, what am I saying yes to? And once I've committed to what I'm saying yes to, it makes saying no that much easier. Right now, I have literally said no to almost every single conference because one of the things that I have said yes to is being at home. Okay, so I'm shifting everything. I love being at home. You all know how much I love being at home. Everything is centered around my house, my kitchen table. I can invite all of you. Everyone has been in my house. Everyone comes to my house. I love it. I want to say yes to being here. And so with that, I'm so comfortable in saying that yes, that I've been okay to say no to vacations, to conferences. I just had a friend reach out. I'm dying to go see Mel Robbins. Oh my God, I'm dying to go see her. And she got tickets for us to go see Mel Robbins. And I'm already committed for that month. I'm trying to just be gone 2 times a month is like the commitment that I've made. So whether it's a work commitment or a life commitment, that's the travel that we're doing so I can be home. And I said no. And I really wanted to say yes. And I looked at the calendar and I could totally make it happen. But I've committed to this yes. And I'm going to be so happy in my yes. And I'm committed to doing that. And so once you get really hard committed into your yes, not that it's not going to sting a little bit, but it's easier to then say no. So quit saying yes to everything. Say yes to the right things. Say no more. Okay, number 2, what you have to let go, huge mindset shift for me as a CEO. And even currently, I constantly have to remind myself, you don't have to do it alone. You don't. You are allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to ask for help from your team. You're allowed to ask for help from your spouse, from your family, from your friends, from your customers. Like, you are allowed to ask for help. We have put, I think also, again, this goes back to like how much I like hate social media at this point. Like, we are just so accustomed to, showing this side of what we need to look like, or what business needs to look like, or what life needs to look like, that we're afraid of. Like, everyone asks for help, by the way. So no one is doing this alone. And 100%, right, for business, you cannot scale without a team. Like, that is just not possible. I have never met a solopreneur who is scaling, at record paces, who has this incredible bit, all doing it all by themselves. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm sure I'm going to have some internet troll, like how he or, is a super successful multimillionaire and he's just a solopreneur and everything's done on automation. Good for you. I'm really happy for you. But it's not the way the world works. To build businesses, you need to build teams. And building teams, that is for another topic on leadership and what it takes to scale and build those teams. But you do have to ask for help. But I'm talking a little bit further on just even that business standpoint of asking, like truly asking for help. So outside of business here and building teams, I just want to remind you that you're allowed to just ask for help. You're allowed to say, hey, this isn't working, or I need help here, or I need that referral, or I have these targets and, I have 3 applications left and I'd love for you to help me find, like, go ask your customers. Like, I don't know, we feel like we have to put this big show on that everything is super great. And even if we do ask for help, we're not weak. That's the shift that we have to like really make in our minds, is that people who ask for help actually are the ones that are in a position of strength. They're not in a position of weakness. Society has just made us feel that if we ask for help, that we are weak. And it's in fact the opposite. Most successful, if not all successful CEOs, leaders, politicians, leaders across that are in that have the biggest companies and are doing the biggest impact, they are asking for help. Everyone in a position of strength is asking for help. Where we are weak is when we don't. And asking for help is something that we have to just get accustomed to. And that goes, and I see it mostly in women. Like, we feel like we're failing if we're asking for help. And so many examples of like wanting to like not do it alone. It's really also about trusting the people around us too. And I think honestly, where as women we get caught up, it's not that we're like, we want to ask for help. I hear this all the time. I want to hire the team. I am trying to delegate off, and it's just not good enough. Right? That's that feeling that happens to us as women because of our perfectionism, because we're like, okay, great. I'm going to feel if I delegate this off, and I know you feel this way. So don't even I know you're like driving right now. And you're like, yep, it's not good enough. I did hire that person. I did try to outsource this. I want you to get comfortable with this fact that it's just never going to be good enough. No one is you. So we need to stop expecting it to be done the way that you do it. You don't need it to be done at 100%. If somebody can help you and take it to 80%, and then you could put your 20% magic touch on it, wouldn't that be incredible? My life is a series of that 20%. Every single thing around me is 80% done before I touch it, right? My kids, even everything in my home, right? But there's no one that's going to do it like me. I'm the one that's going to be putting the special touch on everything, because that's what you do. That is what makes you you. And so That's the mindset shift that has to take place and I'm going to give you permission. I'm going to validate it. No one is going to do it as good as you, but they don't have to. You have to put together that team. You have to put together the resources to take that 80% off of your plate so that when it comes to you, it can move faster. You can get it done more strategically. And then you can do it to take it to the end zone. And asking for help from, that's in business, but also in life. And I just want to encourage you. It doesn't also have to look this all or nothing. This is also this philosophy that I see most women find themselves in, is that it has to be, oh, well, I would love to have help at home, right? That's an area of delegation. Of course, I would love to have that, Suneera, but I can't afford to have that. And, it's nice that you have that and you can do that. I didn't start by having all of this help at home, right? So maybe is it one day a week that could work for you? Maybe is it just the one thing that comes off? Maybe it's just laundry. Maybe it's out. Maybe it's trading services. What are the things that you could start small in? And that's our mentality that needs to shift. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So often I find women in this 0 or 100. It's black or it's white. It's this or it's that, and there's nothing in between. We have to inch our way there. Success is a series of those inches, right? You're not just going to get to the end zone. It is all of those 10-yard plays that get us there. So if it is asking for help, and when you're taking a look and you're zooming out in your life and you're like, okay, where can I ask for help? What do I need the most help in? It doesn't have to be all the things. You might not be ready for a full operational a business manager, right? But we had Tamara on a couple episodes ago. Please go listen to it. It was so insightful of how CEOs, we just get in our way. Maybe it's one process that you take off your plate, right? And so it's starting small, but I can guarantee that today, wherever you are right now, there are many things that you can have somebody else take over at that 80% so that you can put in that magic touch. And this is how we're able to actually build more wealth. This is how we're able to have that life of freedom. When I have that time back, I'm not just sitting here, so just because this is done, this is how I'm able to add in other sources of income and revenue and drive my teams to go drive them further more effectively, because I'm making a series of, what I'm training myself to do is make a series of decisions. That is what a CEO is. Right? Is a chief executive officer. They're making executive decisions. You're not the doer. And yes, there is that time where you have to do the doing. Of course, I still have to do the doing. I wrote out my episode outline today. Can somebody do that for me? Absolutely. But sometimes you do have to do the doing. Sometimes you want to do the doing. So not every task needs to be at that point, but it's understanding what will make the needle move, right? And that really, honestly, I'm going to skip right into it, which was my last one, but I'm going to move right into it, is quit wasting time on things that don't move the needle. Like this one is, this is the one. Like this is so important. Busy is not productive. Productive is completely different than being busy. Like, yes, I am a super productive person. I am strategic. I am focused. And every day I'm moving the needle. I am not busy. I would love for you to reframe that word busy. If you feel busy, you are doing something wrong. I feel productive. I want you to feel productive. What that difference in our mindset here and what shift needs to take place, I'm not working on busy tasks. I'm working on strategic needle movers. So every single week, I look at what's up ahead for the week. What are the most important things that need to get done? And when I say moving the needle, it's always based on our goals, right? So what are the goals of the business, right? What are the goals, and this can apply to your personal life as well. And what's going to actually move the needle? What is the thing that these are the most important things that have to get done in order for that outcome to happen? Focusing on those tasks versus, of course, there's going to be busy tasks that are going to be there, but every day, I guarantee you that you're going to get to your goal 10 times faster if you only focus on needle moving tasks. So I sit down and I write out, this happens every month, this happens every quarter, this happens for the year. So we just did it for the year. What are the goals for the company? Right? And then these are the goals. That's it. Everything else is a no. We have to get focused. So needle movers are all about being focused. Of course, there's going to be distractions. Of course, there's going to be things that come into play. That's just the day to day. But you as a leader have to be focused and moving your teams to focus on the things that really matter, right? We can focus on everything. I'll give you an example. My president this last week, she was talking about, our newsletter. We have an incredible newsletter. I write it every Wednesday. She's like, Suneera, you put so much time into it. Let's put, let's put more effort into, we need to figure out the best open rates and click-through rates. And I'm like, yep, that's super important. But it's not a needle mover right now. Our needle movers right now, and I'm like, I love it. Yes, of course we need to do that. But I want us to stay focused here. And so our area of focus right now is our programs. We have Founders Club and Millionaire Founders Club. We are finishing up our last few spots of Millionaire Founders Club, which is so incredible. I can't wait to tell you more about it. And I'm like, this is where we have to focus. I don't want you focused on anything else for the rest of this month. This is where our focus needs to be. Those open rates and the click-through rates, those can wait. Now, it's not that those aren't important, but what's going to move the needle for my quarter right now is closing this up so that I can go focus on the other aspects of the business. And I do this even for when I sit and do my Sunday Zoom out. So when I do my Sunday Zoom out, even in life, right? So here, like my goals are set for what I want my lifestyle to be like, right? And so for me, my workouts are important. My health is really important. That is a strong strategic anchor for me now in my life. On Sundays when I sit down, a needle mover for me is to ensure that I get 4 workouts done through the week. Now, I incorporate that into my calendar, but it's almost a non-negotiable. And if I have it on the calendar for today, it is a needle mover. It needs to get done. And so I don't discount it. I know this is a task in my life that needs to happen, and you just do it. And usually needle movers are things that are the hard ones. So they're the harder ones to do, or they're the tasks that you want to. That's why we always start with the ease, where like we see the task list and you get that high of like checking things off, like wake up, drink coffee. Those are needle movers, right? Like let's actually go get stuff done. Even email time. Email time can be so distracting. Having it scheduled in your calendar so that you can have the tasks up ahead of like, if I got the things done today, these are the 3 things that I really need to get done. Sending those pitches, maybe working on that board deck, maybe working on that new product design that you needed to do. Whatever it is, these are the hard tasks. These are the needle moving tasks. So quit wasting time on things that just don't move the needle. This goes in life. This goes in business. And busy is not productive. Let's be productive. Okay, number 4. This is real. All right. Quit seeking validation from those that don't matter. Oof, this one like hits so hard because it took so long for me to understand this. And I still go through cycles of this, but I just want to remind all of us, everyone doesn't matter. Everyone isn't going to like you. Everyone isn't for your product. Everyone can't be your customer. It doesn't matter. Stop seeking validation from everyone, right? And especially those that don't matter. We have a tendency, of course, it's human nature. I mean, I went to 10 different schools in 12 years. This is the hardest thing for me ever. I am super uncomfortable when, if there's confrontation or if somebody doesn't like me. I'm always trying to find a way to ensure that I have a seat at the table. This goes deep. This is like ingrained in me because I was an immigrant kid that like moved from school to school. Like this is just part of who I am. But I know many of you can relate, whether it's in my story in this, or it could just, I think just in general as women. And it's human tendency. Like if we want to be accepted by the village, if not, we become the outcast, right? So that is important. But now as the world has, it's just a different world. We have so much coming at us. Why are we trying to seek validation from everyone? Right. And it's a big question. It's a hard question. And I have learned, and I'm learning, I want to say learned, I am learning to be okay. Knowing that there's going to be someone out there with their opinion of me, that isn't the same. This happens to me quite often, especially as a CEO, especially for those that are, as soon as you become successful, you are going to feel more and more of this. And it's going to come from your team even. It's going to come from your friends even. And you really have to decide like who actually is in that inner circle and whose actual opinion matters. And it shouldn't be. And I don't want you to become that person where it's like, oh, no one's opinion matters. Like, no, it should matter. The right people's opinions should matter. Okay. So it's not that, and don't have that ego where it's like, I don't care, or I don't give a shit. You don't want to be that. And I've gone through life in that. I've gone through life where it's been like, I care about what everybody thinks. Then it's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. And that's also wrong. I think where the balance is important, it's understanding whose opinions are actually important. And for me, the opinions of my family matters to me. And it might not be for you, right? You have to define whose opinion matters and whose validation matters. My mentors, right? So people that I respect in business, not just the ones that I think, actual people that know me, that understand me, that are my mentors, their opinions matter to me. I give a lot of weight and respect to their opinion. People not everyone that I work with, but my team's opinion does matter to me. I have had a really hard time of letting that go. And I think that's something that Sal always shares with me is like, not everyone's opinion of you, even on the team, should matter. And he is right about that. Not everyone's opinion should matter. But as a leader, especially one that really puts her heart out and wants, like I truly do want the best for everyone as a collective, I do want their validation. So I do seek that. I do think that there is that level of, it doesn't have to be everyone. My leadership team should matter. Right. And so, and certain friends, not all friends. So of course, certain friends, I respect their opinions about life, but maybe not about business. Right. And I think it gets hard especially if you in 2025 now, especially if you're showing up online for your business, that's even harder. Like I think it's 10 times harder now than it is. Of course, it's easier to start a business. There's so many more tools and resources, but because of this pressure of being online, like it's just so much easier if you had like a brick and mortar shop, right? Like, but you still have to show up online for that now. But the opinions of others, and especially your friends, that in the beginning, I used to, and I've talked through this with all of you for, many episodes on my friends will never be my customers, and that's okay. They don't have to get it. And so a quick mindset shift that I want you to take place is I want you to be willing to think about an area that might be holding you back because of validation, right? Whatever that area is, I want to encourage you to just take action. Whether you are, and do it without the validation. So without wanting the likes. And that's so cool now that social, you can like hide all of that. And I love that feature because you don't need validation. But I want you to take action into something without needing that validation. So whatever that thing is that you're like, hey, I really want to send this email, or I really want to launch this thing, or I really want to show up online in this way. Whatever that thing is, I just want to encourage you from a mindset shift to take action without needing that validation, and let me know how it goes. All right. So number 5 is, this one's so important, is to quit playing small with your goals. I don't know from where we feel that we have to validate the big goals that we have to say, we have to justify having a big goal. I want to take that off the table. You don't need permission to have big, audacious goals. That is okay. You can have those big goals and we can turn them into actionable steps and we can shoot for them. And wherever we land, we're going to be excited about, because we are part of a growth journey, not a destination journey. So it is absolutely okay to have big, big, big goals. Men are never scared to share their big goals. Men are never scared to share what they're going to working on next or what's going to happen in their future. We are holding ourselves back, even in our own minds, when we're not saying out loud our big goals. You don't have to hide it. If you want to keep it in your journal, keep it in your journal. But I want to encourage you to have big goals and to share your big goals. We as women need to get comfortable clapping for each other and our big goals. That is something that I want you to practice, but I also want you to celebrate. As soon as you hear someone else's goals, I want you to celebrate their big goals as well. We don't need to accomplish everything on the to-do list. It's okay to just have big goals, and then we take them into actionable insights. But the one disservice that you're doing right now is by playing small. I didn't know I could go build $1 million business, let alone $1 billion business. And every single day I stepped into a job that was harder than the one that I had yesterday, bigger than the one that I had yesterday. And I just kept going. That is literally if I were to sum up the last 10 years of my entrepreneurship journey, it was just a series of me showing up. But when I look back and I'm like, I wish I had stopped to say, here is what that goal definition actually looks like for me. Here's what I actually want to accomplish versus just letting it happen. And I just want to give you that permission to dream big, and whatever your goals are, double them. Why not you? Why not you? Right? Why not? Why are we holding ourselves back? You know what? That goes into my last one, which is number 6, and that was the bonus. It's because it's fear, right? And so we have to let go of fear. Fear cannot hold us back. You have to get comfortable with taking risk. You have to get comfortable with going for it. And even if you go for it, knowing that you might not get the outcome, that failure is okay. Getting a no is okay. That's what we have to get comfortable with. What's the worst that can happen if you actually go for it? You're going to try. You're going to learn something. You're going to maybe take 3 more steps instead of the 5 steps that you had hoped for. You'll still be closer. So every time that you have this sense of, oh my God, I don't know if I can, or I don't know if I should, or I need to send that email, or you're fearful of asking for the thing or asking for the investment, or, hiring that person, whatever the fear is, what's the worst that's going to happen? You are the CEO. You can change your decision. You can try something and then you can say, oh, I decide that I don't want to do it anymore. Or you can, if it's working, you can double down on it, right? That's what's so exciting about being an entrepreneur. That's what's so exciting. That's why you're here. And then we hold ourselves back because as soon as it's time to actually play, we're like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can play anymore. I don't know if no. We have to put ourselves in the game and we have to have some fun, right? And we're going to get hit. We're going to get tackled. We're going to get whatever the game is. I don't know. I keep making football analogies on this podcast episode today, but this is just a Super Bowl. So I think that's where my head's at. But we've got to play, right? And what's the worst that's going to happen is that you're going to lose the game, right? There'll still be another one, or you might still be hurt and you might end up, you might win. And so you just have to get comfortable in going for it. You have to get comfortable with letting go of the fear. And I once had a mentor share with me a little bit about fear and something that really, really helped me. She told me that fear is it's natural. We all have fear. Of course I have fear. I have fear all the time. If I'm doing something that's worth it, I'm going to have fear in it. I'm going to have fear. That means it's worth it. It's supposed to be there. And fear is a part of our it's what keeps us safe, right? If we didn't have fear, then we'd be doing the most wildest shit. We need to have fear. Fear is a good thing, but we should never let fear drive us. Okay. Fear needs to be there, but think about fear in the back seat. Okay. So think about, you're the one that's driving the car. You drive. Fear can be there. He doesn't need to be in the passenger seat. He could be in the back seat to make sure that you're protected, to make sure that you're thinking about things right? So I'm not telling you to take risks that aren't calculated, but we can't let fear drive us. And so we have to quit letting fear truly run the show. And if we do these 6 things, if we let go of these 6 things, boom, that is a recipe for an incredible 2025. And I know it's a lot to pack in, and I literally said, seeking validation, quit playing small in our goals, not moving the needle, don't be busy, right? Letting fear, just so many great takeaways that we had on today's show. Rewind, listen, write them down, and know it's a work in progress, right? These are just reminders. I'm working on it. I work on these. These are the things that I think about, and I've gotten so much better about it. It doesn't have to be, again, all or nothing. We talked about that on this episode. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. We're making progress, and I'm really proud of you for making progress. I'm so proud of me for making progress, and we can have growth and still be here and be still in this growth journey that we're in. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of CEO School. I'm super, super pumped for an incredible March lineup. We have incredible guests coming up in the next couple of episodes. So be sure to tune in to every Monday. I want you to hit right now. I want you to go wherever you're listening. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you have notifications on every Monday morning. The show is released, and tag us on social. I want to know what you loved about today's episode, what you're quitting, what you're letting go of. And if you love today's show and you love this new energy of us being in our home, all the things, show us some love. This is how we grow the show. And leave us a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And I can't wait to be celebrating 5 years with you this March. Sending all my love. I'll see you back at social, and I'll see you next week on the CEO School. Bye, everyone.